All right, we'd like to welcome to the Media Center the two-time winner of the WM Phoenix Open, Scottie Scheffler. Scottie, before we open up the questions, you recently got your 20th win on tour. Your first one came here back in 2022. What are some of the memories that come when you think about win number one for you that came here?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel that long ago, but at the same time, it feels like quite a bit of time has passed since then. But yeah, lots of good memories. It's nice to come back to this tournament. This tournament's a lot of fun. For me to play in. It's fun to be able to play in front of this crowd, and it's a cool experience. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out there and competing in front of these people and some great fans. And it's shaping up to what looks like to be another really fun week.
All right. If you guys have questions, you just raise your hand. We can get a microphone to you. We'll start there in the back left.
Hi, Scottie. I'm Adley Hartley with Northwestern Medill. Last year, during your pre-conference, you said that your mind wasn't on winning your next major. Since then, you've won 2 majors. Has that mindset shifted going into 2026?
Not really. I've always been a guy that does my best when I'm staying present and focusing on the things that I can focus on at the time. And so I've been preparing hard to get the season started, and I got off to a nice start there at the American Express. And we had kind of a hectic week at home last week with a lot of ice and snow, but you got a little bit of work in, and now we're here ready to compete again this week and the next couple out here on tour. And so it's exciting to start the season, but I've always been at my best when I'm trying to stay present and focusing, just getting a little bit better each day.
All right, come to Jimmy right here.
Hey, Scottie. Compared to last year where, you kind of had that delay to start the season, what's it like to see your preparation pay off with a win to start this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. It's definitely a lot easier starting off that way instead of missing the first few tournaments due to hand surgery. So I definitely did a bit less cooking in the offseason this year. I stuck to, some plastic silverware instead of metal stuff, but no, I'm only kidding. But it's nice to get off that kind of start. It's nice to feel very prepared going into the season. I feel like my body's in a good spot. My head's in a good spot. We had a really nice break to kind of get ready to come back out here and compete. And it's great to be able to see results to start the year, but we're here playing another tournament, so last week's already forgotten about, and I'm ready to come out here and compete again.
Was there kind of a big thing that you worked on mostly over the break?
Nothing too specific. I tried to get my body and my mind in a good space to where I could come out here and compete for an entire season. And each year out here is long. We play a lot of golf tournaments, and now we play them in I shouldn't say short amount of time, but a shorter amount of time than I've been used to in the past. And it feels a bit more like a sprint at times. And, at the end of each year, you get pretty tired. And so it's nice to have a little bit of an off season that you kind of earn through playing some good golf, and then rest and recuperate to get ready and come back out here again.
All right, go right here to Todd.
Hey, Scottie, you talked about coming back, and you're well aware of what this tournament's all about, but do you still kind of marvel sometimes when you get here and you see the size and the scope and the crowd and all that?
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's a lot different than what we see throughout the year, and I think it's really fun. It's a unique experience, and I think it's something that as a professional you always want to be able to experience. And it is funny when you're flying in, you can already see all the buildings. You know exactly where the golf course is, and it's a spectacle for sure.
And then you touched on the majors a little bit. When you think back to, you've had success at the Masters, of course. When you think back before you won there, what were some of the hard lessons you had to learn to get over the hump at that particular venue?
At the Masters specifically?
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of a learning curve on that golf course. I think there's certain places where you have to play to, and there's certain pins you can get at, and there's certain pins that you can't quite get at. But a lot of it's just being patient and continuing to get better. And each time you fail, you try and learn something, and sometimes it could be something physical. Oftentimes it's something mental that you can learn. But I feel like in this game we're always learning and taking in new information, and it's all about how to apply that going forward.
Is this the first time you've had a special guest like this for a press conference?
Yeah, first time.
All right, we'll go to the back right.
Scottie, as a two-time winner of this tournament obviously very unique with the way it's set up with the crowd, and what has allowed you to have so much success specifically here in Scottsdale?
I've always enjoyed playing, this type of test. I think this golf course plays really well when it comes to tournament time. It plays firm and fast, and you got to hit a lot of different shots, and you got to be very precise with your ball. But then there's also, a big crowd that comes with it as well, and I think it's always a lot of fun to play in front of a group this size. And it can be a bit hectic out there sometimes, but it really is a lot of fun.
We'll go to Gabby If you can just pass the mic right to her.
Hey, Scottie. You mentioned that you were getting your body and your mind ready for this season. I wonder, what do you mean by getting your mind ready? Is it anything in addition to just going home and relaxing with your family, or what is it?
Well, I mean, I think relaxing has a lot to do with it, but getting, I mean, it's physically, I think the season is exhausting, but mentally it can be very tiring as well. I mean, by the time you get to the end of the year, I'm pretty spent. It takes a lot out of me mentally and physically in order to compete out here on a weekly basis. And I've been able to put myself in contention a number of times over the last few years, and I think that's draining as well. And so a lot of it really is just getting home, getting rest, spending time with the people I love at home, and getting ready to come back out here and do it again. So I'd say rest is a huge part of it, and I've come to value that more as my career has gone forward.
And pivoting a little bit, I'm just curious from your perspective, why is it so important for the tour to bring back a Brooks Koepka, a Patrick Reed from LIV?
Well, I think when you look at a lot of the discussions we've had, and when you look at what a lot of the fans are saying, I think people want the best people playing together again. And so when it comes to great players like a Brooks Koepka or a Patrick Reed, I mean, Patrick Reed's a major champion. Brooks Koepka's, I think, won 5 majors. And so having those guys competing out here, I think, is great for the tour. I think it's great for the fans. It's great for our sponsors. And I think the last few years, there's just been a lot of noise. And so I think getting those guys back, I think it's another step towards us just being able to play golf again. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Cool. Gabby, if you can just pass it to the center, to Jack, right down here.
Hey, Scottie, I know you don't replace your irons in a set. You kind of, as one wears out, you replace any. I'm wondering, have you replaced any of the irons that you won the majors with last year? And also, do you keep any clubs from majors or wins as mementos?
Yeah, I keep a lot of my old clubs, and I actually do typically change out the whole set when I do change irons. I try to do that as little as possible. I get almost emotionally attached to clubs at times. Once you get a feel for a club, and I think feel is such a huge part of the game, and so changing clubs can be difficult. Even when I have the greatest club maker in the world make me a set of irons, and he's spec'd them, he's checked every inch of them. I've got a guy at TaylorMade that takes great care of me, and even then, I still find little differences, and there's still little stuff that I got to get used to. And so I do change them out, but when I do, I change out the whole set, and yeah, I keep a lot of my old clubs just as a reference point for me.
You bring up Adrian, and I know you guys are super close. Can you talk about what it was about your relationship that actually brought you to TaylorMade?
Well, I signed on with TaylorMade, I believe, in 2022. Is that right? 2022. And I had been using a ping driver for a while, and I tested the TaylorMade driver. I really liked what I saw, and I'd already been using the irons, and it was pretty much a seamless transition where it was like, hey, I love the equipment, I love the guys I've been able to work with, and Adrian was one of the first people I worked with at the company, and I mean, he takes care of everything for me. My clubs typically don't start a tournament without him getting his eyes on them out here on the road, and so I can't say enough about all the stuff that it takes behind the scenes in order for me to come out here and compete. There's a lot of people that take care of a lot of different stuff for me to be able to go out there and just hit this little golf ball around.
All right, come up front, Mitch.
Hey, Scottie. Last year, hole number 11 was the hardest hole on the course. What makes hole 11 so challenging, tee to green?
I mean, the tee shot is easily, I think, the hardest on the golf course. I mean, the fairway from the tee box looks wide, but it plays extremely small. I mean, you get that runoff on the left, water on that side. And so typically, I mean, if you hit up the left center of the fairway, the ball's pretty much going to go in the water. And so you got to squeeze it up the right side, but when you squeeze it up the right side, there's also rough on the right side and trees, and the green is tough to get at when you're in the right trees. So really, it starts with a great tee shot, and then and even when the pin's over there on the left side, you're typically not even really aiming at the pin. So it's a pretty challenging hole overall.
All right, go to the back right for the next question.
Hey, Scottie, a lot of guys talk about taking less club on 16, the energy, the environment. Is that something you think about, or is 16 not really affecting the way you're looking at those numbers?
I think the hardest thing on 16 is actually figuring out where the wind is, which can be silly at times to say in the desert because you don't get a ton of wind. But those little gusts that kind of come in and out, they can feel really different when you're inside of that arena. The wind has a tendency to move around. And I think that's one of the most challenging things about the hole is figuring out where the wind is and just committing to your shot. And what I love about this golf course is how firm the greens get. And so if we had really soft greens, that shot wouldn't be that difficult. But with the firmness, you put any little curve on the ball, the green kind of rolls off, and there's some really, really challenging up and downs. And so there are certain pins that you want to attack, and then you also have to play defensively to some pins as well.
All right, Couple more. We'll go to the front left right here.
Scottie, Lena Washington, 12 News Phoenix. Dave Harmon being out there, 86 years young. Your dad said he opened the floodgates. What can you say about what he's meant to your career and any special memories with him? What does it mean for him to be out here?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always fun getting to catch up with Dave. I mean, he was a huge part of me winning the U.S. Junior. For those that don't know the story, I got matched up with a caddy at the U.S. Junior at Mars Camp when I think it was 2013. And I got matched up with a 73-year-old guy, and he didn't. I don't think he expected to caddy that many rounds, but you do your 2 practice rounds. I think Saturday, Sunday, then 1 round Monday, 1 round Tuesday, and I think it's 1 round Wednesday, and then 36, 36, 36. And for 73 years old at altitude, for a guy to make it around the golf course was an impressive feat. But he did a great job of keeping me relaxed, keeping me calm out there, and was a huge part of me being able to win the U.S. Junior. And then it was definitely the biggest tournament that I won at the time, and was a huge kind of stepping stone in my career to perform when it mattered most. And Dave was a really big part of that. So it's always fun getting to catch up with him here.
All right, we'll go to the center back, and then we'll come to Dan here.
Hi, Scottie. I'm curious, at a course like this where there are so many scoring opportunities down the stretch, what are the emotions you feel when you hold the lead knowing that there's guys behind you that could easily go on a run to catch you, or like how do you manage that balance of being aggressive and cautious at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, I think in order to win tournaments out here on tour, I mean, you have to play well at the end, and I think this golf course is one of the best ones that we see all year in terms of an exciting finish. Because, like you said, there's opportunity, but there's also a lot of danger. I mean, you look at even the second shot on 15. I mean, if you hit a really good shot there, you can get a really good look for eagle. But if you hit a poor shot, you're going to be in the water staring bogey in the face. And so there's a lot of variety, and I think it's a fantastic finish that provides a great amount of opportunity, but also it can be pretty severe penalties as well.
Go ahead, Dan.
Not sure if you caught any of Justin Rose's kind of dominating performance last week at Torrey Pines, but now we've got the top 3 players in the world. One is in their 20s, one is in their 30s, and one is pretty deep into their 40s. What do you make of a guy at the age of 45 being right up there with the younger guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at Justin specifically, I think you see a guy that not only works really hard on his golf game and has for a long time, he also works really hard on his body. And it's something that, for me, I look at a guy like that at 45 years old to be in the shape that he still is in is extremely impressive. And I don't think you just luck into that. I think he puts a lot of work into that. And, I think it's inspiring for the young guys to see somebody at that age still be able to do the things that he does. And I'm 29, and I feel tired already at 29. I can't imagine what I'm going to feel like at 45. So I can't say enough about how impressive it is for him to be still putting up the scores and even the ball speeds. I mean, he's almost keeping up with me when we were playing in Palm Springs. So I mean, guy's got plenty of speed and plenty of talent, and obviously plenty of work ethic as well to go with it. So I don't think he's slowing down anytime soon.
Almost keeping up with you, though.
Almost.
All right, time for one more. We're going to come to our special guest, Carson, here in the front row.
Hey, Scottie, I know I already asked you this question, but of all the people in the PGA Tour, what would your starting 5 be?
Starting 5 be, I think you got to start with Gary Woodland. He played college basketball, so that's a tough one to pass up. Russell Henley's going to be our point guard. Jacob Bridgman, I think, is going to make the lineup. He still plays, a couple times a week, and so he's going to be fresh. He's probably going to be the only guy out there that's going to be fresh for us. And then I think Tony Finau will be the big guy for us on the team, and then I'm putting myself in the lineup as well, just because I love basketball. I couldn't sit on the sidelines and watch those guys play. So I think we do all right.
Awesome. Thanks, Scottie. Good luck this week.
Thanks, y'all.